So we are focusing for well-being and mental health of the teenagers, and so that the rural area and urban area teenagers could have access and opportunity equally, and for accessibility to education as well.
Welcome to Breaking Silos Collective, the show where we inform you how to break silos and why it actually matters. My name is Doris Carini. I'm the co-host of today's show, and I'm also the Europe ambassador of the East-West Center Hawaii. Today's episode is 1 out of 15. It's produced in collaboration with the East-West Center, and we are interviewing their 2021 Innovation for Sustainable Development Fellows. The fellows are usually under the age of 40. They are from various countries worldwide. They are East-West Center alumni and experts in the fields of arts, education, health, disaster resilience, and environment. Today on the show, I have Mrs. Soko Battsend and Mrs. Gana Purajev. They are both from Mongolia, and we are learning about their program from Ganabell Institute of Success. Soko is our fellow, and her program is called Adaptive Teenagers Virtual Program and has the aim to offer an interactive learning experience for teenagers to adapt to the new normal of COVID-19. I'm very happy to have both of them on the show. Like I said, Soko, she is a development professional from Mongolia, but also lived in the United States. And she has implemented educational programs throughout Mongolia and is now with the Ganabell Institute of Success. Mrs. Gana Purajev, she's actually the founder of the Ganabell Digital School, and she's also a human resource specialist and a success coach. And I'm very happy to have both of them here today. Thank you for joining us.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Us. Mm-hmm.
Great. Soko and Gana, would you please tell us a little bit more about Ganabell Institute of Success, the digital school, but then also give us some idea how is the education system in Mongolia?
Mm-hmm. Okay, Ganabell Institute is founded 2011. Since then, we have been contributing our effort and our knowledge to the local community. So our vision is to help the individuals to become successful and help the domestic companies to be international players. That's why within this our vision we have been working about the 10 years. So our specialty is the training, coaching, and consultant services, and plus social projects. That's why we have been initiating many kind of social projects to better our community, not only our community, but also the nationwide of Mongolia. So what we believe is that you can give the community even though you are small. So that's why our team is believing that no matter if our consultant firm is not that big, but still we can in the process of going to succeed. In the same time, we are willing to give and contribute our effort to our community to better place. The second question is that about the education system in Mongolia. We have been, living as a socialist country for 70 years until 1990. So during that time, we have been, penetrating the Russian education system. It's like a 10-year education system. It's very academic based, and briefly, what I can say that the person has a left and right brain, right? So American Russian education system is more designed to develop the left brain, more academic, more logical, more mathematical. thinking skills. But in the other hand, we really lost of developing the right brain, like a visualization, and art skills, something like that. Then 1990, since 1990, we become a democratic country. So since then, every different kind of education system have been experienced in Mongolian education system. So our government, some years they have been trying the British, education system. Some of them American system. Some of them, East Asian system, something like that. So last few years, especially 2009, Mongolian government is seeking to special tailored Mongolian education system, which is combining traditional and modern education system. It's getting forming, it's getting transition to the better education system. That's about it.
Great. Sounds like a lot of progress has been made over the last years, and you're starting your school at a very interesting time. Soko, can you tell us a little bit more? What was the main idea why you started that teenagers adaptive program? What was the main problem that you're trying to solve here?
Sure. So we all know and we all have been in the COVID situation, right? So during the first long lockdown in our country, I had a chance to spend more time with my family and also with my nephew and niece. At the first beginning of the lockdown, I was busy with my adaptation and busy with my own work. I didn't notice that much, but with time, I started to notice that my nephew and niece experiencing the lockdown very harshly. They had experienced more aggression, more sadness. They locked in themselves. They don't express themselves too well. So with that experience, I shared my experience with my colleagues, and Miss Gana, she experienced same as with her daughter. With these experiences, we started to research about the adolescents and teenagers all around the world, what they are experiencing, what the statistics are. So we figured out that teenagers are experiencing this lockdown situation stress very much more than adults. With this transitional period, it's very crucial for them, and in that stage, it's very harsh for them, and statistics show that even the hotline reach numbers doubled during that period. So all over the world, all teenagers experiencing this stress. So that's why we started this project and wanted to help our Mongolian teenage community and to overcome this stress as best as possible and adapt to the new normal, and to get out of it as a better person for the future, brighter future.
Yeah. Wonderful. And can you tell us a little bit, how does the program actually work, and how many provinces or teenagers of different provinces are you actually reaching?
Since the program is based online, we are welcome to welcoming all 21 provinces of Mongolia. Every teenager who's interested can participate and get the benefits of our program. And with our previous projects, we also saw the benefits, how the rural area participants can benefit and get the same equal opportunities as the local city-based participants. So that was good.
Yeah, so that brings up a question. You said, of course, there's a lot of urban teenagers who live in the cities, but Mongolia still has a lot of teenagers and families living in very rural areas. That leads me to a question of one of the co-fellows. How do you deal with internet stability and connection for your trainees to attend the learning experiences online?
Thanks to the Mongolian government especially paid attention to the rural the schools, especially the vulnerable groups who could able to access the internet free of charge. So this is one of the very good point for us to reach out for them. Unfortunately, the Mongolian government couldn't reach out them, especially during the COVID, especially the touching the topic about what we are addressing, because the main focus is fundamental classes for them to study, but they don't have any capacity or any budget to how to handle the COVID, something like that. It's two ways, like prioritizing. It's good do way down over there, but we found out, as Soko mentioned, that we found out that those teenagers who are very isolated, who are very lonely, feeling the lonely, they really need the conversation. They need the touching points. They need someone to discuss about their problems. They really needed the networks. They really needed the warm hearting conversation. That's why we found out that this project needs to be done right away, especially during the COVID period.
To add to her, so to provide the general knowledge, schools are already giving the access to the internet, and that's why we're using that tool to even further the knowledge to develop the right brain. So yeah,
that's nice. It actually gave me some goosebumps when you said the heartwarming and nice, kind environment that you want to provide through the virtual learning platform. It's beautiful because sometimes we forget about that, right? That it's just as important as logic thinking and so on. And also a question that one of your co-fellows, Elton from the Philippines, wanted to know. He asked, in the context of the ongoing pandemic, how is the program designed to nurture empathy in young adults? So that's something that's also in the right side of the brain, right? Empathy and understanding. How do you nurture that, or how do you design programs that are kind and warm-hearting and those things that you just mentioned?
yeah.
Go ahead, Soko.
So with our program, we're aiming not only teaching and educating youth, but we want to listen and we want to understand what they are saying. So we are planning to make a discussion group with amongst the teenagers, so they can listen to each other and understand them and feel that I'm not the only one who's feeling this way. There are other my fellows who are feeling the same way. And by listening each other's battles and struggles, they can make ways out and also feel accompanied. Accompanied.
To add to her, and we selected two young trainers especially to connect the teenagers, the youth adults, like me, over 40, I talk more academic, more formal way to connect to them. Somehow I could connect, but it's not that in their level. That's why as Ganabell Institute, we trained over 200 trainers, and among the graduated trainers, we selected the youngest and most successful trainers to run this program. The one of them is 18 years old, another one is 21 years old. They are both vibrant, bright trainers who are trained with the standard of Ganabell Institute training program.
So they're gonna speak the same language as the
Yes.
participants. Mhm.
Yes.
That's great. So they're from the same peer group and have a better reach in that sense. Very good. How do you actually overcome, or is it even a problem? Was one of the questions also from a fellow from India, Namrata. She was saying, do you have challenges of monotony and boredom because of, long exposure to the screen and long time sitting in front of a screen? Do you experience that in your program with your teenagers, or is it not even a problem? But if so, how do you address it?
Yeah, we all considered our students, our participants, and we know that teenagers tend to have short attention span. So we considered that in our program. So we included fun games, interactive games, and questions to get to keep them engaged. And the learning sessions are shorter, and the engagement is longer. Yeah.
Mhm. We also added the book club so that not the trainers talk, also let other, trainees, the teenagers to learn from each other, to discuss and express the opinions to each other. So our role is let them, handle the situation, find the solution amongst them instead of we just giving the, advices. So
Mhm.
we are combining these two methods.
Mhm.
That's great. So you said you have a book club and discussion groups. What are other ways how you make learning more fun? Was also a question Avi from Indonesia, a co-fellow from the East-West Center, asked.
Mhm.
Any other?
Another way to make the online program interactive is that we planned team building activities and homework so that they discuss together small groups so that they're not only interacting during the program timing but also in their free time they form the team so they can discuss about the homework, and after that they bring back the feedback there for the next program, so that not only training time they discuss about it, but also in free time they become friends. They can they find the common hobbies, something like that. So in that way, it's gonna be beyond the program, beyond the
Networking.
classroom. Yeah, it is networking.
Mhm.
Great. And have you noticed a shift of that virtual learning experience that you're explaining with the book clubs, the networking, the discussion groups, and homework? How have these methods affected the overall performance of your trainees? Do you have like some measures that you take?
So we are planning to have the in-process evaluation at the end of the program evaluation. Right now, we don't have the data right now. After we collect the data, we will let you know because it is in the process of running the program. So as I told you that there is a two evaluation and two observation evaluation. After that, we collect the data, and based on the evaluation, we let you know the outcome of the project. Now it's ongoing
Yeah.
process.
Great. I was also interested, and so was Avi from Indonesia, if you would be able to share a success story of one of your trainees, or have they shared already throughout this ongoing program some feedback or some changes that they've experienced in their everyday life, especially with the new normal of COVID-19? Any success stories there?
Yeah, we haven't finished developing the success story yet. We are collecting, but I would like to emphasize one of the uh, story that one of the trainees mentioned that before the countryside, the rural, the teenagers only had the connection with the rural area, but now it's more nationwide. So that teenager can having their friends not only in Ulaanbaatar capital city but also other 21 provinces. That's the beauty of the program. he said.
Okay, wonderful. Have your nieces and nephews or your daughter, Gana, you said you have a daughter or a son?
Yeah.
The program
Because
hasn't started yet. That's why.
Okay,
yeah,
they're not in.
we are enrolling all the students,
September.
and it's kind of selection process, and we have experienced uh, this training. That's why we decided to have not only Ulaanbaatar group, but also we decided to run the 21 provinces, which are the nationwide. That's why we are selecting these kids. Before we had experienced, it has a very big demand.
Mm-hmm. So how many students or fellows can join the program?
We are planning to have 21 kids from the program, because it's very special. It's like group coaching, discussions, like that. So, but if there is a waiting list, the people, the teenagers, we can group into two groups. But right now, we are selecting the students, not students, the teenagers who are really willing to attend this program, who willing to want to make the success story, who willing to graduate the program completely.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a high demand, but we are kind of having the high requirement.
Yeah. So you're saying that they're after all graduating. Can you tell us a little bit more? How long is the program and what is the certificate or kind of graduation that they receive after having completed the program?
So this program has the kind of three stages. First stages we had experienced, and there was a demand. The second one is now it's an enrollment process, in a selection process is going on. Then the whole process is about the program. 1 month. It's going to start September 1st, right, Soko? September
Fourth. Mm-hmm.
4th,
Fourth.
then
Mm-hmm.
the end of the September. So right now we are selecting, and we ask them to write the say Google form. Why you are interested in? Are you willing to graduate the program? So what is your expectation from this program? It's kind of questionnaire, but it also help us to find the right people, right teenagers to make the program successful.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So the program will be every week at a certain time through online sessions. And also, we will have a short session at the end of the program for the parents. And also, we want to keep the participants um, willing to or looking forward to meet each other at the end, like a graduation ceremony kind of thing, so they can meet each other, actually network and make friends, and something to look forward at the end of the program.
Mhm. But we plan to held the graduation ceremony not only the classroom but also the virtual environment, because Mongolian territory is very vast, and the people are scattered around the Mongolia. That's why it is hard. Even the person who in order to come to the capital, he or she has to travel more than 2,000 kilometers to reach to Ulaanbaatar. That's why, in order to involve the countryside, the teenagers, we made the whole program 100% online. But the teenagers who are willing to come to Ulaanbaatar city, then we will arrange the graduation ceremony.
Wonderful. That's great. It sounds very inclusive of everyone and reflects a very innovative approach. I also want to ask you the question, since you mentioned that the parents will be included in one session. That was also a question that Maruf, your co-fellow from Bangladesh, asked. He wanted to know if you need approval of the parents or you need to somehow involve the parents, because he thinks that the mental well-being of teenagers also very much correlates with the family at home. So what are
Yes,
your ways?
I'm very much agree with that. The family, not only parents but family members, participation and inclusion is very important, and that's why we included the parent short parent session at the end, so we can advise the parents how to communicate better with their children and what they are thinking, how they are thinking, and maybe the teaching or communicating style of theirs is old style, so we want to teach them new ways how the new generation are thinking and how they receiving information.
Mhm.
Yeah. In addition to this, we also planning to give the assignment, kind of home assignment for the parents to have a conversation, have very warm hearting, meeting with their kids, because 1 month program is very short,
Yeah.
even though we have a very intensive program, but after that someone will sustain this program to keep that what they learned, give the opportunity for teenagers to express their opinion to their parents. That's why we wanted to give the message to parents that it is their duty to express, to let the kids express their opinion, to have some warm hearting, the table round talking, stuff like that. So we will give
Mhm.
that advice in order to get the feedback and in order to have the sustainable, conversation for kids to
Mhm.
care about
Mhm.
their kids.
And
Mhm.
I also think that, especially in rural areas, parents are not much, I wouldn't say interested, but they don't pay attention what their kids are going through mentally or well-being. They're more worried about what's on the plate, what's for dinner tomorrow, So they're
Yeah.
worried about that. So we want to get their attention and awareness about their children's well-being and mental health too, and we want to let them know that this is important as well, and we have, like Kana said, they should have a talk, a
Mhm.
conversation, meaningful one, and also they need to listen, not tell what the teenagers has to do or should do, but listen, so
Mhm.
yeah.
It's beautiful. Yeah. That alone sounds to me like you're really breaking silos in your country, trying to
Mhm.
break the way of how communication between different generations is being done.
Mhm.
You have, or let me ask you, what are the future ideas how to move that teenager program forward besides having parents included? But are there any plans of having more programs like that in
Mhm.
the
We, in order to keep the sustainability of the project, we before during the training program we used to have the training program for the teenagers and high school students, how to choose the measures and right, and how to set the goal, how to keep the develop the good habits, stuff like that. So what we plan is to make all this training in digital version,
Mhm.
so that we could reach out not only our the local community, but also to nationwide, and also not only Inner Mongolia, but also Outer Mongolia. Outer Mongolia is it used to be Mongolian territory, but now it's a part of China.
Mhm.
These people are still speaking Mongolian language. They're really willing to learn from the not Outer Mongolia, sorry, Inner Mongolia. So they are really willing to learn from independent Mongolia. That's why if we deliver that training program in Mongolian, that not only nationwide, it's more like international Mongolian speaking, the
Mhm.
teenagers, youths could able to access to learn the training program.
Wonderful. How do you actually promote your program? How do you try to market it to your right audience?
We have been marketed already. We have their own page, Ganabell Institute, and also we have a page developed, Ganabell Teens, and also we have been posted the high school and middle school, the um, groups, not only in Ulaanbaatar, but also the local rural the high schools. And also we have been asking the teachers who are teachers and social workers who are in charge of the school administration. So we ask them to post our the program advertisement.
Information.
Yes. It
By
is doing
groups,
very well.
mm, by groups, Ghana meaning social media groups, closed
Yeah.
groups who are very much associated or um, are about the teenagers.
Yes.
Okay. So you use certain social media groups and sites and certain apps to really reach the teenagers also in the rural areas. Wonderful. And can you explain to me a little bit, who were your local stakeholders, like other important businesses or institutions that helped you get approval or get more acceptance for your program?
We had some stakeholders and partners who have been working together since 2011. Some of them are the MASA, Mongolian Association of State Alumni. It's a very big association. The another one is Mongolian High School Students Association. These two groups we have been working for many years. So these two are very giant network, very popular network. So we have been cooperating to advertising, and broadcasting the live interview about the program.
And I also want to mention the group because of the very successful finish of the adaptive leadership program. We were able to start this adaptive teenagers program for teenagers. So I also want to mention that group. Who participants of that group was over 100 people. Those people are also a great source to help us to succeed.
Yes.
Wonderful. So it's former attendees of your programs and helped you spread the word and help you get teenagers on board. Beautiful.
People, participants who experienced the great learning materials and the quality that we deliver to them, they would, I think, greatly appreciate the same for their children or brothers or sisters or siblings,
Great. And Soko, you mentioned earlier, I'd like to go back to that comment. You said oftentimes families or parents in rural areas, they're more concerned about what's for dinner or what can we put on the plate. Did you have any pushbacks or any difficulties, challenges trying to really get more rural teenagers to join your program and convince the parents that this is a good program?
Like I said previously, because of the government's tool that they're providing with the internet and accessibility, we are being able to reach out to those who are in need. But I also want to mention that we cannot reach to all teenagers of Mongolia, and also there are who are left behind. But this is just the first module that we are starting, and over the years or over the past future time, we hope that we will reach more students.
Namrata from India would like to know how you tackle concerns and challenges about data privacy and security.
That's very good question. However, we secure the data because we purchased the G Suite. We use the G Suite application, so that because it's a purchased application program, those data we are collecting are all secure. Because the application form is based on the Google Suite. That's why all those data of these teenagers are secure.
Mhm.
So we
Yeah.
basically outsource that logistics, so that's why it's safe.
Yeah. Hand it over to the experts who are already out there, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Instead of reinventing the wheel. That's smart.
Mhm.
Okay. Soko, can you talk a little bit about the sustainable development goals that you are reaching with your program, Adaptive Teenagers Virtual Experience?
Mhm. So that's very important. And with this project, we are mainly focusing on three goals. And the first being the goal number three, goal good health and well-being of adolescents. And fourth goal, quality education for rural area and all teenagers equally. And also the last one is 10th goal, uh, reduced inequality, meaning that all teenagers can should be accessible to same education throughout the country. So we are focusing for well-being and mental health of the teenagers, and so that the rural area and urban area teenagers could have access and opportunity equally, uh, and for accessibility to education as well.
Wonderful. When you started the Ganabell Digital School, Ghana, some years ago, what would you see is the difference now after having run it for some years? And do you already see some results? Like Soko just mentioned, the goal is to create accessibility for all teenagers in your program, but in general, how do you measure the differences from before you started your institute and now? What progress do you see?
2 years ago, when we initiated the digital school project, it was very new for Mongolians. The COVID hasn't been started yet, so were preferred. People preferred the classroom training rather than virtual training. So like only 1% of the all the training program attendants prefer to attend the classroom training. No, I mean the virtual training. The 99%, they most likely prefer to sit down and attend the classroom training. But all of the changes have been, it is become reverse due to the COVID, and but they think the online training is not useful. It's a kind of waste of time. It's not a good way to learn the knowledge. So in order to prepare the customers, prepare the people to get access to the internet, it took really 6 months for us to train them, 2 hours for us to prepare for them. It's a good timing to study the online version. Then, thanks to the East West Center, we developed the program called Adaptive Leadership Program, um, running 21 provinces nationwide. It became really sensation. We had more than 450, participants, people, candidates who were willing to attend this training, because the online training became very small in a fee, very small fee. We gave them 90% of the um, scholarship program for them. Then they started, attending, and we selected 220 participants involving 20 every single provinces, because our tactic is to uh, give the opportunity every single provinces.
Mhm.
Then after the training, the expectation was become boom. They wanted to more training. They really liked the online training. Then after they graduated the adaptive leadership program, they kind of not insisted, they requested, they demanded us to have the next, enrollment. Then we plan to have the module 2 of the data leadership program involving those people who already graduated, who are willing to go to next step. So see, because if we didn't run that, the previous one, the second demand would never be started. So this data leadership program has been very successful. It became sensational, and many participants want to attend another one. So we developed the data leadership program module number 2. This is also illustrating this sustainable development of the project. And also, when we announced the data teenagers program that we are talking, it also had the great demand. Those of the participants who attended the adaptive leadership program wanted to involve their kids to our teenagers program.
And I also would like to add that we saw that the benefit of online courses is that you can save the records and watch on your free time, on your own speed, and rewatch or repeat what you didn't understand twice, 3 times, however many times you would like to. So that's very beneficial. You can whoever learns things very slowly, you can do that. Whoever is a morning person or an evening person, they can learn in every time they would like to.
Yeah, it caters more towards individual needs in that sense. And that's speaking also for the success of the program, that you get so much request from all over Mongolia. That's great. With your experience, how would you advise someone else to help break silos or help make changes in their communities for sustainable development? Do you have some ideas or suggestions?
Okay, my advice is that when you run the project, don't think about running the project one time. Think about more long-term goal, and try to think about how to keep the sustainability of the project. That's the one of the important point for me to address. The second one is that once you find out the issue needs to be developed, needs to be solved, try to keep it persistent, not to give up.
Before I hand it over to Soko, may I ask you, Gana, how do you actually keep your project sustainable?
I try to think as a visionary. I try to think one-time project. I try to think the project is a long time, and like not only 3 months or 6 months. I would like to extend the time like 3 years, 5 years, so that I could find the solution to sustain the project in the long run, not only in short run and also in the long run. I always had a plan for that. That's why, as I mentioned, that our Itato leadership program, it was the one time, but after that, we with our fund, we are developing the next level. As for the teenagers, also we plan, to extend, to do the repetition of the program in the future.
And I would like to add that as a team, we really aim to um, find the goods and the positives of greatness of our previous programs and transfer that to the new programs, and also have that in our new program, and fix or change or tailor the difficulties or not so successful parts of the previous program projects to the new one.
Great. And Soko, also, would you like to share how you would advise someone else to break silos in their communities, or how to make sustainable development happen? What are your suggestions for someone else?
Mm-hmm. I would like to say something very simple. Everybody should start from within in themselves, and after that with your family and your community. So after that, it's gonna change as a whole. The whole country or whole nation will change. So just try to be a good person, a right person, and be with a kind heart, and try to help each other. Whoever needs your help.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's a good closing thought. I think that's very well summarized. Is there anything else that you both would like to share with us and the viewers, either about your programs or your personal developments? Any final thoughts?
It is our privilege for us to initiate the teenagers program at nationwide, and also we are proud of our program because we are the team who find out first and initiate the project in making this project happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you for having us with a great interview session, and we hope a few months later we would greet you guys again with great success story, with successful completion of our project, and with many happy adolescents who are very inspired and driven, excited for their future, and adapted to the new normal, and with many friends, I hope. Yeah.
That's wonderful. I look forward to learning about that. And for today, thank you, Soko and Gana, for being on the show. It was really insightful, and you took me to a very exciting place, Mongolia. I would love to come visit one day and see your Institute of Success. Thank you to all our viewers also for watching. If you like this, please make sure to give us a thumbs up and share it with your network. If you would like to learn more about the Ganabell Institute of Success and Soko and Gana's success stories, please follow the links in the description box. And we have a lot more interviews coming up, so please subscribe to our channel for more great content. I'm very happy to close this interesting interview now and say thank you from Doris Carini and Soko and Gana for being on the show, and we hope to see you soon again. Bye-bye.
Thank you.